Hey piggies, how you doing? Well, we ended up running out of pig feed yesterday. So I ran to the feed mill this morning and they mixed me up a few bags. So I also set up a bulk delivery for next week. So this bags only have to last us just for 1 week. All I got's feed for you. I don't have a bunch of treats like Rebecca gives you. Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So today I've got a bunch of little small jobs that I need to get done. And I have a guy coming over and he's gonna buy all these round bales that I got left over from last year. So once we get these out of the barn, then I can finally stack this year's round bales and start putting them in here. And then after that, there's a farm auction tomorrow and we're gonna go up there today. We're gonna check out the equipment. We're gonna see if there's anything worth bidding on. Well, I was running up to grab the tractor and I saw something out here in the pasture that shouldn't be here. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It looked kind of red to me, so I wonder if it was a fox, but it was definitely inside the fence. Well, I think I found the problem. So this all runs downhill and the water comes right through here and goes under the fence over here. And it's washed out enough, I think animals are being able to get in here. So right here, right under that fence, it just drops down. Like it drops down like a foot on the other side of that fence. And you can see we've got quite a big opening right there. So you can definitely tell it looks like stuff's been maybe crawling through. So I think we got a security concern here. So I think for now, I'm just gonna put a few concrete blocks right there and cover that hole up. I definitely didn't see, I started backing up immediately as soon as I seen it. I did not see it climb over the fence. So I'm pretty sure it's going under. Let's put a couple concrete blocks there for now, but definitely an issue with that area washing out back there. We're gonna have to see what we can do to fix that here in the future. I will say hooking up implements on this smaller tractor is just way easier to see better. All right, now we got some weight to pick up round bales. Watch the electric wire right there. More than likely, we'll see them try to dig out under that. Might buy us a little time though. So now that that wagon full of hay is out of the way, I'm free to get in here and pick these up and load up his trailer once he shows up. And he ought to be here within the hour. So while we're waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a bale off the top of this wagon and take it in here and feed it to the cows and the sheep. We don't have enough pasture for our animals. We're overstocked. So we've got to supplement with hay through the summer, and their bale is gone and they're ready for another one. Well, now I did it. The cows got in the barnyard back here. Chase them out of here. They haven't really been in this area, so they're curious. Come on, Lucy. Come on. Yeah. Come on. No, I know, that's not, the trough isn't for you, sweetheart. Come on. No, wrong way. Come on. Come on, back up. You don't want that. Come on. Come on. You guys are gonna give me a hard time here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Well, I'm probably gonna have to give them just a little bit of feed to get them back out. Hopefully that'll distract them long enough where I can drive the tractor back through. All right, all of last year's bales are now gone. I just got done loading them up. And now that the barn is empty, we're gonna go ahead and start storing or stacking all of the bales that we made this year. And instead of putting them directly on the ground like last year, because the ground is always a little bit moist and wet, we've saved some pallets to lay out there, and we're gonna stack them on pallets this year instead and try to get them up off the ground just a little bit. A little bit of a high spot. All right, all the round bales are off the hay wagon and loaded in the barn, so let's go ahead. We're gonna head up to the auction house, see if we can find something to bid on. All right, we're at Knowles Auction Service, Marshall, Illinois. There's an old Case backhoe, 580. It's one of the Extend-A-Hoe. It's got the extendable backhoe on it. It's an old Massey Harris 44D. Somebody's restored this one. Looks fairly nice. There's an old International 400. This one's been restored too. McCormick Farmall A. Different looking. It's kind of offset. Oliver Super 55. John Deere 60. Is that what that is? I don't know if I'm not familiar with the John Deere numbers. That's an older one. Now there's a Super M that needs to be rebuilt or redone. So that there looks really similar to my Case. Mine is a Case 730. This is an 800. But that looks very similar in size and just the design. This has got an old trip bucket on it. Here's an International 404. Definitely needs a little bit of work. That's enough for the old tractors. Let's look at the actual hay and farm equipment. All right, there's a John Deere baler. I think this is a 24T, I think is what it is. That is an old baler. Definitely unique looking. I don't know if I had a cover on here, but it's definitely gone now. I'm gonna guess that it hasn't been ran in a little while. Well, this right here is a PTO operated generator that you can power your whole house with. It's got a 50 amp receptacle on the side. I think this is 20 kW. I was curious if this, if it's still spun and everything. be interested in having a portable generator I could use with the tractor. Well, I was able to spin this by hand, and it seems smooth. I don't know whether the actual generator part is any good, so you'd have to consider that when you bid on it. So there's a land plane. Already got one of those. And there's I believe that's a tree puller that opens up, and then you grab a tree and then you can try to yank it out of the ground. That'd be kind of neat. I've seen a few of these grapples here. That one's small enough for the 24 horsepower tractor. So there's several of these skid steer attachment plates, and I've used these in the past to make projects like hay spears and stuff, so I wouldn't mind picking up a couple of these. Maybe we can build something new. Hay wagon, 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 hay wagon. At least 8 hay wagons right here. And then if you want to build a hay wagon, there's 4 running gear right there. You can just build your own. So here's another John Deere baler. This one's a 346. It's got at least the covers on it. It looks very similar to the other one, but when I'm looking at it and looking at the knotters and stuff, they look a lot shinier. Like this one has been used more recently. So does have the twine still in it, so this one at least may have been used somewhat recently. So here's another John Deere baler. It's a 336, and this one you can see actually has a bale inside of it, and you can see the string going through the knotter. So I think this one's definitely been used recently, so that's a good thing. Then you kind of check it over for like the grease certs and stuff like that. You want to make sure everything's nice and greasy, and well, at least somebody at least greased it and maintained it a little bit. Missing a cover on this side. Only 20 on the bale counter. Maybe he did 20 bales and he said, forget it, I'm done with this thing. So there you go. If you want a disc mower, you got one disc mower, and then you even got an extra one for parts. So they come together, supposedly a working one, supposedly, and a parts one. So here's an old fuel tank. It's a gravity tank without the stand, but at least it comes with the hose and everything. Needs a little bit of work. Well, this kind of makes me sad to see a nice piece of equipment like this Powermatic and this Delta Unisaw sitting outside, rusting away, ruining the cast iron on them. If that was inside in good shape, I'd probably bid on it. So I missed this the first time through. This is a 6-foot wide finish mower, and I think that would actually work pretty good on the 24 horsepower tractor too. And I missed this the first time around too, this fuel tank. So I want to build a farm fuel station, and I do have one tank, but really you need 2, right? You need one for diesel and one for gasoline. So I'm looking for a second tank, and that one's got the fuel pump on it and everything. And it's, of course it's already on skids. It's already set up and ready to go. Now this table saw is in a lot better shape. This is actually a really old Craftsman Roebuck. Somebody's kept good care of it. Too bad it's sitting outside right now, but that is cast iron top. That's a fairly nice saw right there. So these here are pallet fork extensions. You slide these over your pallet forks and it makes them longer. And there's several of them. So there's a couple 8-footers. I think these are 7-footers and those are 6-footers. Now I've talked about buying these before, and there's several here. I think I'm definitely going to try to pick up a set of these pallet fork extensions. Anybody need a sink? Comes with all the plumbing. So here's a couple more grapples, and they're all these like rock bucket styles. They've kind of got the solid bottom with the weird cutting tooth on the front. Not ideal, at least I don't think so. There's a few more of the skid steer plates. Definitely good project material if you want to build something. Well, I better be careful because I could definitely spend some money here if I wanted to. So this auction is online, or it's also where you can be here and bid on it. So I'll probably just bid online. So there's definitely a few things there at the auction that I'll end up bidding on, but there's a couple things I was looking for that was not there. One was a bigger hay rake, like a V-style hay rake that'll get like a 15-foot wide area. They didn't have anything like that there. The other thing I was looking for was a seeder to seed the next 12 acres that we have, plus to be able to overseed hay fields and pastures. I was really looking for some type of a grass seed drill or something like that I could use around here. Now the things that were there that I will bid on, I'll probably try to bid on maybe a fuel tank so that I can get a second fuel tank to build a fuel station. I'll try to bid on something, some type of mower for the 24 horsepower tractor. I'll bid on some pallet fork extensions. I'd really like to have a set of those. And I'll probably bid on some skid steer plates so that I can build future projects. And and the generator. I'm gonna bid on that PTO style generator. It's probably a gamble on whether it really works or not, but everything you buy at an auction is a gamble. But that's what I'm planning on bidding on. There might be one or two other things that I might bid on, and we'll wait and see in another video whether I get anything. But now, since we're getting a bulk feed delivery, I need to go clean out the other gravity wagon so that we're ready for feed to be delivered. So me and Rebecca have already cleaned out this wagon, but I still have this John Deere wagon that I need to clean out. It's been sitting outside, so it's got a little bit of water, I think, puddled up in the tarp. Oh, got caught. Must be a sharp edge right there. All right, so looking inside the gravity wagon, you can see that there's spoilage right there. So somehow water probably got in on that side. And then right here, there's spoilage right along there, and there's a seam. I don't know if you can see it. There's a seam right there. You see that? So that seam is right under here, and that's where those two pieces of metal overlap. There's a weld right here, and there's a weld right here, but there's a good 12 inches between welds. So that water has came down and then got under that sheet metal and got inside of there and spoiled that feed. So this time when we get bulk feed, it is not going to sit outside with a tarp on it. It is going to go directly in the barn so that it is under a roof. That way, hopefully, we don't have the spoilage we did last time. But it's definitely because that tarp only went down about this far. And then the rain could hit this and go into the seams and get everything wet. So the only way for that to work outside is I needed way bigger tarp. And that tarp needed to come down past these seams. And it needed to probably drape over probably a good 4 to 5 feet on each side just to make sure no water got inside. All right, there's the inside of the gravity wagon now. Looks a lot better. So there's one more thing I need to do to the gravity wagon before we get bulk feed, is there is a hole in the bottom here. It's right next to the door, there's a hole. And this was actually filled full of silicone when I bought it, and it ended up coming out. So I'm gonna try, I've got some sheet metal in the barn. I'm gonna try to weld a piece in there and try to get that patched before the bulk feed comes a week from today. So I still got 1 week to get this ready. Well, I ended up making a mess. It didn't all end up going in the bucket. So see if I can sweep it back into the bucket. Luckily these things are fairly light when they're empty. Hey piggies, how are you guys doing? You just want to sniff my hand? No biting, no biting. Well guys, I think I feel completely dirty after doing that. I mean, I just feel covered in dirty dust, that is for sure. It's past 7 o'clock in the evening, and I think I'm going to call it a day, even though here at 8 o'clock we'll be right back out here doing the evening chores. But I think I'm gonna call this video done. And tomorrow I've got a little project I'm gonna be working on, and then hopefully I'll be bidding on that auction online while I'm working on that project. And probably will see here maybe in a couple videos. We'll find out whether I actually won anything. But I think that's going to be it in this video, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.